Does this look familiar to you? The leftovers have been bagged up and sent home with family and friends. You're left with this guy. Looks like a turkey murder scene. So you can throw it away. Maybe you'll save it, put it in the freezer and say, I'll make stock with it or something down the road. Then down the road, you open up the freezer, you find it and you throw it out. I don't like to leave the turkey carcass for later. I like to do something with it right then. And what I like to do is make turkey creme brulee. What I like to do is make turkey ice cream, turkey marmalade, turkey juice, turkey smoothie, turkey hot chocolate. No, what I like to do is make turkey soup. So what I have here is my stock pot, and I'm just gonna put the turkey carcass in here to start. And if it doesn't fit, just take your little shears, your bone shears, and cut it so it fits. Or alternately, just rip it apart with your hands. I'm gonna throw in all the other little pieces of bone. We're gonna add some water here. We're not gonna cover it completely yet. Just enough to get it started. Then we're gonna start up at just below high heat. We wanna get this water going because we're gonna bring this to a boil. I'm gonna add my other ingredients now. I've got about 10 to 15 peppercorns and a bay leaf, 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper. I've got a couple stalks of celery, these are rough chopped, a couple carrots, rough chopped, and a medium yellow onion that's been quartered. I'm gonna go ahead and add more water now. We wanna bring the water level up to just above the top of the turkey. That's close enough. We're gonna bring this to a boil, then we're gonna reduce that down to a simmer, and it's gonna simmer for 3 to 4 hours. And this is gonna provide the stock that's gonna be the basis of our turkey soup. All right, we are just starting to boil here, and I'm not gonna let this get to a huge rolling boil because, well, it's pretty close to the top of this pot and it would just boil over. So I'm gonna count this as a good start to the boil, and I'm gonna turn the heat down now to get us to a nice steady simmer. All right, I'm gonna let this simmer for 3 to 4 hours now. As I said, I'm gonna partially cover it so the lid won't be completely closed on it. And every once in a while, we're gonna come in and sort of skim off this little foam that develops. So I'll see you back here in 3 to 4 hours. All right, we've been simmering for just over 3 hours. Let's take a look. Nice. You can see how much it's reduced and that great color in the broth. All right, it's time to strain this. If you have an extra set of hands holding your strainer, that does help. Lost a little bit into the bowl there. All right, we're gonna do a second straining here because I splashed a few pieces of bone and everything past the strainer into the bowl. So we're gonna pour this directly into the pot we're gonna be making our soup in. There is our turkey stock. Now we're gonna get this back over to the stove and get the rest of our ingredients in. All right, before we put our vegetables into the stock, we're gonna saute them just a little bit. So I've got a pan over medium heat here. Put a little bit of butter in. All right, we've got a 1.5 cups of carrots that have been peeled and chopped. A 1.5 cups of celery, which has been chopped, and a 1/4 cup of scallions, the sort of pale end of the scallions. To this, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon, which would be like a good-sized clove of garlic. It's been minced up. And then we're just gonna saute this to soften these veggies. We just want to soften these up so that when they go into the broth, they're a little bit loose. They're ready for the party. Now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of our turkey stock to the saute pan. Just kind of help these along. And I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. All right, these are looking good. We're going to go ahead, get them into our stock, and add the rest of the ingredients. All right, let's get our veggies in here. See if we can do it without making a volcanic splash. Just mini eruptions going on here. All right, we're gonna bring this up to a boil and then reduce it to a simmer. That's when we're gonna add our turkey, our seasoning, and our noodles. All right, so we have a good boil going. I'm gonna reduce this down to get us down to a simmer. And I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning. Give this a quick stir. Now I wanna check and see how the carrots are doing, see how tender they are. A little taste. That's pretty good. Make sure I adjust my flame here so we're still getting movement in there. Just gonna start spooning in our turkey. And this is about 2 or 3 cups of turkey that we pulled off the carcass before. If you have leftover turkey, you can use that. If you want to pull some of the turkey meat out of the strainer, you can. Just look for bones and stuff like that. All right, we got good movement in there. It's time to add our egg noodles. This is about 3 cups of egg noodles we're adding. These are going to be in here for about 9 minutes, roughly 9 minutes until they're al dente, or you can cook them to whatever tenderness you like. All right, it's been about 9 minutes. I want to check one of these noodles, just see if it's to the doneness that I like. Oh, perfect. Perfect al dente. All right, it's time to dish some of this turkey soup up. All right, here is my favorite homemade turkey soup. Now, one of the things we do in our house is we don't add a lot of extra salt and pepper to the large batch because each of us likes a different amount. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, but I'm gonna add a lot of pepper because that's what I love on mine. So just a little salt, but a good amount of pepper. And I'm gonna garnish the top with some fresh scallions. And this right here is my favorite homemade turkey soup. It's time to taste. It is soup tasting time. Now, my wife always wants the carrots to be huge because she doesn't like carrots in her soup, so she likes to pick them out, but these are small enough for me. So here we go. We got some noodles, we got some carrots, we got some turkey, and it is hot. So here we go. Really nice. This is quintessential comfort food, homemade turkey soup. One of the best things about this is it's not fancy, it's not complicated. It's taking leftovers and some vegetables, boiling them up, and you end up with an amazing tasting meal. I mean, this is a meal. It's not just a side thing you would have with a meal. This is hearty. It also makes sure that Mr. Turkey's sacrifice was total. We didn't just throw his bones away and all the little leftover bits of meat. We used everything. So this is my favorite homemade turkey soup. You can customize yours any way you want. Add mushrooms, potatoes, tomatoes, any seasonings. In our house, this is the way we like it.